everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and today I'm here with a post review of one of my recently completed diamond painting projects. This is the absolutely cozy and beautiful Cozy Christmas from Diamond Art Club and the artist Rita Konya, aka Aria Illustrations. It is a large project, that is for sure, especially compared to a lot of the pieces I have been working on this year, but I'm really just so in love with how it turned out and loved so much about the process of working on it. So today I'm looking forward to sharing a bit with you about just sort of my overall thoughts on it, things that I loved, things that maybe I didn't necessarily love, and if I'd recommend that you get this kit or not. So that being said, I have my paper logbook here, which is where I track my recently completed, or the diamond paintings that I actually work on. So here you can actually see the original artwork. This is one of the stickers that came with Diamond Art Clubs with their kits. I tracked the stats up here. So this was 69.9 by 93.8 centimeters, 58 colors, square drills. Then I started this on November 3rd and finished it on November 23rd. And it was my 45th finish of 2024 and my 194th finish of my diamond painting career, I guess. And then I also like ranking my kits in terms of the confetti and the enjoyment. So confetti, I gave this a 7 out of 10. It does have a good amount of confetti because there's so many details. Enjoyment, I gave this a 9 out of 10. I loved this kit. Now, I know I started this in November. I was hesitant a little bit because I thought, well, it's really well before the Christmas season, and typically I'm not one to want to start the Christmas season that early. I'm usually a after Thanksgiving, it's fair game kind of person. But when Diamond Art Club did their Christmas release, which this kit was a part of, I just was so enamored with it. And even I think in the video said, what do you guys think? Do you feel like I can go ahead and start on this piece, or should I just wait? And you all were like, if you love it, go for it. So I did. Now I also track things that I loved, and then I write mez for things I'm on, and then the notes. So this was something that this was a kit that I was sent as a sneak peek. However, just so you guys know, I do still try to give you as unbiased an opinion as I can and just kind of give you the facts, like just the really black and white facts, and then let you know when I'm sharing my personal experience with the kit as well. I was not told that I needed to work on this kit. I just loved it so much that I decided to work on it. So, but I of course want to be 100% transparent with you all because that's the name of the game here. That's really important to me. So we have our drills here, which we will go ahead and take a look at a little bit more closely later. You can see I had plenty left over in all of my colors, including just these oodles of special drills. Oh my gosh, I don't know how that one got flipped, but whatever, not a big deal. Let me show you this canvas. I am gonna kind of start up here at the top and kind of bring you through it, just let you soak up all those beautiful details. Now, this is the kind of project that if I'm going to take on a larger scale diamond painting, one that is bigger than, say it's bigger than like 50 by 70, you know, I am really gonna enjoy a project most, I find, if it's that big, if there's like enough details going on that I feel like I'm accomplishing something as I go along. I like that this is the kind of kit that it felt like each section that I was opening up and working on, once I finished this section, I got to see something that was finished, whether it was like, you know, the doggo over here or kind of the things that are on the table, the cats, the details in the quilts, even the various different ornaments on the Christmas tree, the gifts, the trains, the books. This is just a kit that's so full of detail that I didn't feel bored. I didn't feel burnt out because I was like, oh, I'm getting to work on something that's kind of a little different in each section. As opposed to a kit that maybe, I'm trying to think of how to like explain it by giving you the opposite too, in case you're like, what do you mean? You're completing something in each section. Isn't that always how it works? But if like I'm working on a piece that is just like a big portrait and each section I'm working on is just like a little bit of like color blending that's added in, or a little bit of just like landscape background or something that's like, I guess for me, it's just not something I would find interesting. Or if it's just a small part of a much bigger whole, like, as in like, again, if it's like a portrait style or something like that. If I'm working on a kit that's super big, then I'm going to feel like I'm just not making as much progress. It's something that I've really kind of keyed in as something I need to be very aware of when I choose projects to work on if I want to avoid getting burned out on diamond painting. And whether or not that sort of thing bothers you, it's going to be so subjective, because maybe you're the kind of person that's like, that's fine with me, I'll work on, whatever, because the finished product is worth it or something like that. But I just know this about myself right now, especially because 2024 has really been the year for me of working on mini diamond paintings. When I looked at my total, when I showed you my journal there, where this, which was like my main project in November, was my 45th completion of this year, that's like more diamond paintings that I've completed in like the whole year in past years. So I think that just honestly kind of speaks to how the majority of the paintings I've been working on have been smaller. And this is really the exception rather than the rule this year, and that it is such a big painting. But I hope you enjoyed getting to kind of slide through the details here. I just want to point out some things too, and kind of go through what some of my favorite parts of this were. For one, I thought that the special drills in this were just wonderful. I thought they were so incredibly beautifully done. This kit came with so many bags of a red fairy dust color, like this cherry red fairy dust color. Let me show you. And it came with like the 3 quintessential Christmas colors here. Like it came with all these fairy dust colors, this like cherry red, this darker green, and then a white color. So I was like, oh, I know this is going to be a good one because we have all these beautiful special drills in here. But this red color like could have filled up like 2 or 3 of this size container. I had to just refill this one from the baggies. And the red fairy dust is just, it's everywhere. It's anywhere you see bright red, like in the presents. There's tons of it in the tablecloth over here. It's in like the pillows. It's in the curtains. It's in, oh, you can't see the curtains. It's in her sweatshirt. Tons of these bright red areas in the quilt. Each of the red ornaments on the tree has some of that cherry red fairy dust in it. The ribbons up here at the top, it just is everywhere. And I love fairy dust diamonds. I think that they add such a beautiful shimmer to a painting without being super, super in your face. Like ABs, which there were some beautiful ABs in this kit too. There's this yellow AB that's in these string lights that I thought was beautiful and absolutely perfect. The string lights are actually made up of a yellow AB, a yellow fairy dust, and then the white is a white fairy dust. So those are all special drills. I think they look amazing. There's a yellow AB and the star at the top of the tree that I thought was really pretty. And then in the tree itself, it's kind of hard to see when you're further back. So I'll show you further back and then I'll bring you down to show you up close too. There are these clear iridescent diamonds, which iridescent diamonds have a crystal-like finish to them. That these are the garlands in the tree. So this line right here, that's a clear crystal drill, clear iridescent. This line right here, it's these little drapey garlands all through the tree. I'm going to bring you down closer so that you can see the kind of reflectiveness of them. There's some like right here, there's like some here. And then this tree is also full of that dark green fairy dust too. But let me go ahead and zoom you in and I'll show you some of this up close. Okay, so here you can see more easily, here we have these like clear iridescent diamonds. You can see the dark green fairy dust. There's the red fairy dust kind of sprinkled in the ornaments. There's also all this white. This is white fairy dust. So there's just special drills absolutely everywhere. I like all the pretty and distinct ornaments on the tree, like the little reindeer and the sled. Here, I'm going to slide you over to one of my very favorite parts of this kit. So I thought that especially for this size point, that actually they did a really nice job with rendering her face, because I just know that probably set the size point for this kit. And so I actually do like it. I think it works really well, especially when you do step back, but even up close, it works for me. It might not necessarily work for everyone, but it does work for me. And if it's a difference between getting this kit like this or not getting it at all, then like I'm 100% okay with it, because it looks good. The book is really pretty, but here, this quilt and all of these quilt squares, I just thought was absolutely beautiful. I actually even really thought that like her socks are so pretty. Like they're just so pretty. There's again red fairy dust. There's red fairy dust everywhere, you guys. It's everywhere. But the details and like working on this section with the quilt was so enjoyable to work on. It was just so nice. And then getting a little like kitty curled up on it, like stop, it's so cute. And then we had kind of down here on the table, all of these details, like this like hot chocolate with like the little sprinkles in it, the little wreath on the door, like they captured so much in the way of detail. So we have this cute doggo down here that has the yellow yellow ABs and the little reindeer slippers. We have the train and the presents, which also have tons of special drills. And then let me show you a little bit more towards the top too. It's nice to kind of get an up close look, I find. So it was really fun because I started at the bottom of this kit and worked my way up to the top. So I was working in a lot of really similar color families like reds, greens, browns. And then I got to this section and it was like, oh, there's the blues and these like really pretty yellows too. And so I thought this looked so pretty. It's so cozy. You can see like the snow piled like on the window panes. Oh, this artwork. And then the bookshelves, like getting to work on these books on either side of this, like as I worked my way up, lots of different colors in there. I just thought it was so pretty. Now we're getting up to, this is one of the things that I wrote down that I was really mad on. And that was, by the time I got to this top row, I was feeling like, okay, I've been working on this kit for almost 3 weeks and garland doesn't, like, it's not exciting to me. And in the rest of this kit, well, yes, there was the Christmas tree that I was always working on the right-hand side when I got to that side. I was working on this in rows left to right. And so I would only have to do a section or two with the Christmas tree and all of that confetti. And then I was starting I finished that and then I'd start the next row and I'd be in more kind of like the interesting things like the books and the other colors. This garland, this top row where I'm going across, it was just all garland and browns and ornaments. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It wasn't fun. Like I just didn't like this part as much. That's why this got a 9 out of 10 for enjoyment instead of a 10 out of 10 is because once I got to the end, I was kind of like, I don't know. I also am unsure of this particular color up here, but I am also keeping in mind that I'm being really nitpicky because we're so up close. I'm seeing it through the camera lens. I'm like, I don't know about this color, but 100% when I stand back, like it didn't even like stand out to me. Same with some of this like color blending. I'm unsure of it. When I step back, it's fine. But then I'm up close and like, it's a little, I don't know. But I kind of look at it as the glow of the star, like around it. I think that it works. Just in my opinion. You can disagree. I admit in some ways, like I think this artwork is so pretty that I'm like, oh, but I really did love it except for that top part. And so it's really easy for me to talk about the things that I really did love the most. So this was fun. This was right in the middle of the piece. And so it was a fun little like reward and like thing to get to. I felt like I was ultimately like really working towards this part. In retrospect, I wonder what it would have been like to actually save these rows for last, like do the bottom, third or the bottom, whatever section, and then do the top third and then save the middle third for last. That could have been an interesting way to go about it, but I was feeling more methodical, I guess. But let me bring you back out and we'll talk just a little bit more. I just wanted to kind of go over some of my overall other thoughts on this kit, some of my other kind of like pros and cons. For pros for me, I have what I kind of call the usual suspects. It's the things that I'm always looking at in a company that I feel like sets the foundation, sets the baseline, and that I look for kind of a minimum, at least in terms of quality. That has to do with things like the canvas material, symbol clarity, drill quality, glue quality. Those are kind of like the materials, I guess, is really what we're talking about here. I really enjoy working with Diamond Art Club's materials. They tend to be pretty darn consistent. They are regularly looking at ways to try to improve things, which the only downside to that is that sometimes I feel like I don't 100% know what I'm going to be getting as far as like if I'm expecting a certain type of faceted drill, like a certain number of facets or style of drill. I don't necessarily know if that's what I'm going to be getting. I also don't know like if a kit's going to come with like a perforated cover or I don't know, very like little things like that. And so like the uncertainty sometimes, that can bother some people. But overall, I just think that their quality is simply some of the best on the market. There's other companies that do a fantastic job with their quality, but I do feel like, generally speaking, I know what I'm getting into in terms of materials with Diamond Art Club. You'll hear me talk at length in these reviews about the rendering. The rendering is how the artwork was translated into diamond painting form. Diamond Art Club has a heavy hand rendering style. They have people and rendering artists that are often going literally pixel by pixel to really get this to match the original artwork as faithfully as possible. And you're going to get this clean and crisp and highly detailed rendering style when you buy from Diamond Art Club. So in terms of that, I like that a lot. I think there's a lot of artwork that just looks amazing with. And again, I know what I'm getting into when I buy from Diamond Art Club in terms of what I'm going to get with the render. I love the special drill charting. And then I want to talk about a couple of things, both in terms of pros and cons that are purely subjective. And so this is something that it's just going to depend on your personal taste and your personal sort of diamond painting style. Like if you agree with me on these points. So this is completely opinion here. So a huge pro for me was that I thought this artwork was gorgeous. I thought this artwork was amazing. And there's such a difference that happens when you are working on artwork that you love. It makes you, if you're like me, when you're working on artwork that you love, it makes you want to reach for your diamond painting. It makes you want to diamond paint more. It makes you excited to diamond paint, and it makes it feel like less of a chore. It's like it is what the craft is supposed to be. It's relaxing. It's fun, and you love it. So for me, this artwork was that. And I love it. I absolutely love this artwork. You heard it in the unboxing, which I'll have linked below, by the way, if you're interested, and especially to hear my reaction there. I did, and I loved working on this piece. Now, the subjective side of things in terms of cons was that for me, this piece took longer to work on, and by the end, I kind of felt like, yeah, that kind of took a while, and I was ready to be finished, especially with, like I mentioned just a little bit ago, about how that last section, the last row I was working on, was that garland, which just wasn't very fun. And so just at the very end, it was like, okay, I'm not enjoying this as much. I'm not as excited to come back to it. And again, for me, just feeling like it was diamond painting at a slightly slower pace. It's just the phase of life I'm in right now. And I know what for me is slow, for others is super speedy. And so I'm not trying to make a statement here at all. This is the really, really subjective part. And I know that this is just kind of what comes with working on large projects. And so for me, I have to be really conscious right now about when I'm working and how often I'm working on large projects and what artwork and I'm choosing to work on as large projects. So I still think that this was 100% like a net gain and like net worth it, because I mean, you saw my enjoyment was 9 out of 10, and I hope you hear it in my voice. But just for me, I just felt like I was spending less time each day diamond painting because, again, in the phase of life that I'm in. And so it just took me a little bit longer than usual to get through this kit. But is that really like a problem? I don't know. I just know that I couldn't do big kits like this that are going to take me a long time very often, or I'm going to feel burnt out. Whether or not I should, I will. I know myself well enough to know that I will. Overall, though, would I recommend getting this diamond painting, Cozy Christmas from Diamond Art Club and Aria Illustrations or Rita Konya? Yes, if you love the artwork. That's always going to be my caveat, is if you love the artwork. If I'm giving a recommendation for yes, it's always going to be with that, like, as long as you really do love the artwork. And as long as you like what you're seeing, as long as, you know, what you're seeing of the rendering style, what you're seeing of the special drill charting, just overall, if what you're seeing looks like something you would enjoy working on, then I'm telling you that the materials, the overall experience of working on it and everything is a yes from me. So if the subjective things, if the preferences are there, then it's a absolutely go for it from me. This was lovely, you guys. So thanks for joining me for this post review today. I do hope this was helpful. I would love to hear from you in the comments. What are your thoughts on this as we kind of went through it? Are there things that stood out to you as things that you really loved or things that you didn't necessarily love? I want to hear all of it. Is this something that you bought when it released during the Christmas release, or is it maybe on your wish list for later, or are you just getting to enjoy it vicariously through me in this video and that's enough for you? I believe this kit, as of the time of this filming, is sold out. There is an option. As of right now, it has not been discontinued. As long as it's not been discontinued, you can go in and sign up for a back in stock notification email and add it to your wish list. I'll have this link directly below if that is something that you are interested in doing. So hopefully it restocks and you're able to snag it if it is on your wish list. I I love it. It's going to get a wholehearted recommendation from me. But anyway, looking forward to reading your comments. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more reviews like this one from a variety of diamond painting companies here on my channel. I'd love to have you here. I also do unboxings, weekly whip and chats, and more, all diamond painting related. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful holiday season if you're celebrating. Have a day and a week that's as amazing as you are. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.